Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mike with Real Life Counseling, and today I've got some really important information. 7 things you must absolutely stop doing if you want to have a happy and fulfilling life. Now, relationships are the key to having a happy life, not just relationships with other people, but a relationship with yourself. And we tend to engage in something called external control. We like to control other people. And so there's 7 things that we have a tendency to do that you must never do if you want to have a good relationship with other people, spouse, your kids, your neighbors, your coworkers, and a relationship with yourself. So these are the things that you avoid because they're all trying to control other people and trying to even control yourself, but not from an internal sense, more like attacking yourself. So the first one that you should not do is criticize. Stop being critical. Criticizing someone means that you think you're better than they are, that you're going to start telling them what they're doing wrong, how they should do it better. It's a very attacking way of speaking to people, and no one likes to be criticized. You know, people talk about constructive criticism, and maybe you want to help people a little bit, but it's also the way that you do it. It can be done in a very kind way or very attacking way. So you're better off to reduce as much as possible criticism. And that includes criticizing yourself. We're very critical of ourselves. We could be worse on ourselves than anyone else. So my recommendation, eliminate or at least dramatically reduce criticism and criticizing others and yourself. All right. Number 2, blaming. When we blame other people, we don't want to take responsibility for what's going on. We want to blame other people for what's happening. Sometimes we blame ourselves. Something happened and we put the responsibility on ourselves, even though we have nothing to do with it. Blaming other people or even blaming ourselves, especially for things that are beyond our control, is a real bad decision. It's going to damage relationships. It's going to damage your connections with other people. It pulls people apart, and it's also going to harm you. So stop blaming, or again, dramatically reduce the amount of blaming. If you don't feel you can do it 100%, do it as much as you possibly can. All right, the third, complaining. Everybody tries to avoid people that complain. Nobody likes complaining. There are some people who seem to complain all the time, and they're only happy when they're complaining, but everybody else is miserable. And the thing with complaining is you don't do anything. You just kind of sit around complaining about how terrible things are, and you don't actually do anything. You just want to complain about how terrible the world is or other people. And if you've ever been around someone who complains, and especially if they complain constantly, it really is a drain, and it's an emotional drain, and people don't like being around people that complain. If you make an observation that something's not good and then you do something about it, that's a little different. But to just complain endlessly is no good. So reduce complaints, your relationships will be better, and we are social beings, so we want to have good connections with other people. So stop complaining. Nagging is related to complaining, but that's when you're constantly going after somebody. And basically, you're saying that I'm going to keep coming after you, I'm going to keep nagging you until or unless you do what I want you to do. Once again, you're trying to control the other person. You know, you're relentless. You're not going to stop. You're not going to leave them alone. And people don't like when they're nagged at. Imagine, or think about a time when you were nagged. Everyone at some point has been nagged. Imagine when you were, nobody likes it. It damages relationships, and once again, it's this idea of external control. I'm going to control you and try to get you to do what I want by my nagging. The next one, number 5, is really threatening. When we threaten people, if you don't do what I say, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to hurt you in some way. I'm going to give you silent treatment. I'm not going to talk to you. So it's these threats that I'm going to leave. I'm going to walk away. Again, it's trying to control people. You don't do what I want. I'm going to threaten that something's going to happen, and you're not going to like it. No one likes to be threatened. Once again, it's a way of manipulating and controlling people. Don't threaten other people. Now, connected to that very often is the number 6, which is punishing. Very often that's what follows the threat. I'm going to threaten to do something, and the punishment is what you actually do. So I'm going to withhold my affection. I'm going to withhold my love. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to leave for a while. I'm going to say bad things about you. It's really you trying to punish the person because they're not doing what you want them to do. You don't like being punished. Other people don't like being punished. Do not punish other people. It's a very negative interaction to have with other people, and it will damage your relationships. We also punish ourselves mercilessly. Don't punish yourself either. And the 7th and final one is basically bribery. When you bribe people or you reward them really in order to control them. You want them to do what you want them to do. You're trying to get them to do your bidding. So if you do this, parents do that a lot with kids. If you're quiet and you listen, I'll buy you a toy. Or if you don't make a lot of noise, I'll buy a piece of candy. We're basically doing that to control them. We want to have an influence on them. We want them to do what we want them to do. We don't like being manipulated. We don't like being bribed. We don't like being rewarded to control. This is a very big thing now. It's kind of like behavior therapy. You see it in schools a lot, where you kind of give, if the students do what you want them to do, you'll give them a reward. But it really is to control. It's all about external control, trying to get other people to do what they would not normally do, but that you want them to do because you want to control their behavior. So these are the 7 things that I would recommend that you stop doing. It's going to damage your relationship with other people, and it's going to damage your relationship with yourself. So stop doing them or reduce them tremendously. Now, of course, these all come from the idea of William Glasser, the founder and the creator of reality therapy and choice theory. So these are the things not to do. Okay, so I can't criticize, I can't blame or complain, I can't nag, right? I can't threaten or punish, I can't bribe. What can I do? How do I? Well, on the next video, I'll tell you about the things that you absolutely must do if you want to have a great relationship with other people and yourself. But for this time, it's what you shouldn't do if you want to have good relationships with others and with yourself. We'll get to what you can do next time. So if you like this video, please click the like button. I hope you subscribe. Please subscribe. And if you want to get information on when new videos, hit the bell. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.